Hey guys, today at Pondicetta, we're gonna be making some beer cocktails. My name's Caleb, I'm one of the owners and head brewers. You may be asking yourself, what is a beer cocktail? Well, we're gonna take some twists on classic cocktail recipes, using beer as our alcohol ingredient, and trying to recreate some of those fun flavors that everybody knows and loves. Before we dive in, we're gonna be giving away some stickers later in the episode, so tune back in. So our first beer cocktail for today is going to be the Zombie cocktail. Zombie is just a fun name for a cocktail just to begin with. And we know not everybody loves beer, and I think sometimes people find IPAs even more polarizing, but I've never met somebody who doesn't like a good tiki drink. So the cocktail called the Zombie has a pretty fun story, and our version is not super traditional, but it was invented by somebody in Hollywood trying to cure one of his patrons' hangovers. He was feeling like a zombie, and so it's one of those things that just really, checks all the boxes for me. This is gonna be made with our house Hazy IPA, the Fasioned Hazy. We're gonna mix it in a standard beer tulip, but a 16-ounce glass size is a good starting point. Okay, so the first ingredient is gonna be 1 ounce of lime juice. Just gonna measure that out here. And I know it's tempting to not measure the ingredients for your cocktail and just eyeball it, but you're never gonna get the exact right flavor if you just eyeball this. The next thing, we make our own simple syrups here in-house at Pondicetta. So our recipe is 1 cup boiling water, 1 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a ½ teaspoon of allspice. Standard ground spices. Mix this up either on the stove, or you can even use like a microwavable mixing bowl. Mix that up, cool it back down. It adds a ton of complexity to this cocktail. So for this, we use 1 ounce of spiced simple syrup. All right, so the next ingredient is gonna be pineapple juice. You're gonna use 2 ounces of pineapple juice. And then we're gonna add some agustora bitters. This is a key for any good tiki drink. I like it pretty heavy, but a few dashes will do. Lastly, we need to top it with our beer. So like I mentioned, this is our house Hazy IPA, Fastened Hazy. Any Hazy IPA can do the trick here. Look for something that's a single strength IPA would be my recommendation, but already is gonna have some built-in notes of mango, pineapple, orange, citrus. So you're gonna add, I think about 10 ounces of that. It's gonna mix itself. And you'll notice that I haven't used any ice in this so far. A normal tiki drink, you'd have ice, or oftentimes different types of ice that they use for these drinks. In a beer cocktail, one of my favorite things is that the carbonation carries forward and kind of eliminates the need for some of that. Now, we're going to garnish this. So this, to me, looks best with a lime wheel. Cut yourself a thicker slice of lime, should be nice and round. You're gonna tuck just a tiny little sliver in the base of the lime. You should be able to hang that on your cocktail. Gonna garnish with cinnamon stick. And last but not least, another key ingredient for a tiki drink is some fresh grated nutmeg. Seems really fancy, and it definitely elevates your cocktail experience, but these things are so easy. Any microplane will grate it. You can pick these up on Amazon or at your local grocery store. Ready to go. Cheers. So first thing, anytime you drink a beer, cocktail, anything, always start with a good sniff. Like you gotta get the full sensory experience. Take it in, look at it. The funny thing about this is if you were getting a Hazy IPA that was served and it looked this color, it probably wouldn't be the best, but man, as soon as you bring this to your nose, the smell is overwhelming. Tons of that cinnamon and nutmeg coming through right off the top. And all the tropical fruit too. So the pineapple comes through nicely. And then, the flavors of the IPA that we already mentioned, the citrus, mango, pineapple, orange, things like that. The cocktail is nicely balanced. It's interesting because you can taste a little bit of beer flavor, but I'd like to share this with somebody who doesn't generally like beer because I think they'd find this really interesting. You get the pineapple, you get the little bit of sweetness from that simple syrup, and it's all balanced nicely with a little bit of bitterness and spice that we added in. So this is delicious. I think this would make any tiki drink lover proud. All right, so our next beer cocktail for today is gonna be the Cranberry Spritz or the Cape Cod. Cape Cod is just an iconic drink. You can drink in the winter, the summer. It's usually made with vodka, cranberry juice, and a lime wedge. This is a fun, little lower punch, lower ABV version. You can make at home with just a simple beer. Any light beer will work. However, we're gonna use our house-made low light. Made with rice and Pilsner malt, super easy to drink. It goes really great in this cocktail because you get the crispness from that light beer, not a lot of beer body, not a ton of crazy, overwhelming flavors, and it allows all the other ingredients to shine. We're gonna be using an English pub glass. Again, Like I said before, don't stress out about your glassware for this purpose. A simple pint glass would work as well, but I would definitely recommend using a 16-ounce glass. So our first ingredient is going to be 1 ounce of lime juice. And then we're going to do 1 ounce of classic simple syrup. Like I mentioned earlier, we make our own simple syrups here at Fun to Setup. You can definitely use store-bought stuff, but this is literally just 1 cup boiling water, 1 cup sugar. Stir it till it's dissolved, cool it down, you're ready to go. We're going to use 1 ounce simple syrup. Now, key ingredient for a Cape Cod is we're going to use 2 ounces of cranberry cocktail. Got a nice pink color from that. Cranberry juice, it's iconic. You don't want to use pure cranberry juice or 100% cranberry juice. It just is way too intense. But cranberry cocktail, any brand, any variety will work just fine. Lastly, we're going to top this with about 8 to 10 ounces of favorite light lager. Just like that. And then we're going to garnish with a lime wheel. Like we said earlier, a thicker slice of your lime wheel makes it just hold up to the glassware just a little better. Cut your slice and just position it on your glass, just like so. Just like I mentioned before, no ice in this. Don't really have to do a lot of stirring. If you have a stir stick, you can do a little simple swirl, but we don't want to stir out too much of that carbonation because that just adds to the balance and the magic of a beer cocktail. Easy to drink, bright, super refreshing. You get a hit of lime juice, you get that sweet cranberry flavor going in there, a little zing with that. The simple syrup adds just a little bit of the balance to those tart and acidic flavors. And then the beer, carbonation just dials that up nicely. Reminds me of, Cape Cod. It's not as complex as the Zombie, which I think has its place. I think I could drink these all day long, hanging out on the beach, by the pool, honestly, anywhere. It's just easy to drink. Cheers, everybody.
Does your cooler need more stickers? Of course it does.
Like, subscribe, and comment on this video, and you'll get a free sticker pack from us.
Wow, that's amazing. Back to more beers.
All right, so for our old fashioned, we're gonna start with a rocks glass. I know in the earlier cocktails, we didn't care what glass we used. Probably don't have to use a rocks glass, but I certainly wouldn't use a standard pint glass. First ingredient we're gonna use today, 1 ounce almond syrup. Next, we're gonna use homemade vanilla simple syrup. Like we did earlier, we make our own house simple syrups. This one's super easy. 1 cup boiling water, 1 cup sugar. Dissolve that, and then you're gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract after that. Mix that all together and you have a really flavorful vanilla syrup. You can use any type of vanilla extract you'd like. Lastly, 1/2 ounce of lime juice. This is needed because we've added a whole bunch of syrups, a whole bunch of sugar associated with them, and we need to balance it with a little bit of acid. All right, and to top things off, we're gonna use our Castle Black rye. Barrel aged in Willet rye barrels for 9 months. We release this beer every year. We're gonna top our cocktail with about 8 ounces of Castle Black rye. If you have one of our 500 ml bottles, you can get 2 cocktails out of this, 2 servings. We're gonna give this just a real simple stir up a little bit of that carbonation and mix in some of those syrups with the beer. We're gonna add 3 dashes of agustora bitters. You could use other bitters here as well, including orange bitters. It's pretty common and traditional. Add a little bit more of a Christmas spice flavor to your drink if you'd like, but going with a classic for today here. Then we're gonna take fresh orange, a wide peeler, traditional peeler would work as well. You're gonna cut a slice of your orange peel here. You're gonna hold that above the glass, give it a twist each direction. Yeah, it looks cool, but the most important thing is we're actually releasing a bunch of oils from that orange. And we're gonna take and run that garnish all the way around the rim, and we're gonna spread some of those oils out on the glass. Then we're ready to top it with cocktail cherry and that orange slice right on top. Yep, you can smell all of those ingredients we just added. Surprising that lime juice, kind of hidden in the background. Give it a taste. Yep, you get the vanilla, the almond, the woodiness from the beer. That's delicious. Yep, that's a complex cocktail. You get a lot of different flavors. Interesting to try to make a cocktail that's focused on one spirit, whatever you choose, and tastes just like that spirit out of a beer. You could have used any Imperial Stout here. A bourbon barrel-aged Stout would have been nice as well. But I think really approximate all those flavors in a fun alternative version. It's sweet, but not cloying. It still leaves you wanting to sip more. You get notes of dark chocolate, all from the Stout. Really nicely balanced. Well, today we made 3 different beer cocktails: a zombie, Cape Cod, and Old Fashioned. All really interesting cocktails. I think we did a really good job using only beer as our alcohol ingredient. But man, this zombie is really hitting the spot for me. Super tropical. I love the blend of spices. The carbonation of the beer really sets this one apart to a regular tiki drink. So, love to hear what your favorite cocktail we made today was. And tell us in the comments what cocktails you'd like us to make on our next episode. Cheers, guys.